Now, when does it go too far with service connected secondary conditions? When you can connect three or four conditions to one condition. Tinnitus might be able to be connected to several other, or PTSD. Is it, when does the knee bone connected to the leg bone, and when does it go too far? With these theories.
Well, I think there has to be like, see, I'm more of a 51% degree of certainty type person. It's just my own personal preference. It honestly depends. Like, I can see how, oh, you had cancer of the prostate. It metastasized somewhere else. Now you have liver cancer. Okay, that's medically proven, shown, evidenced by. You've got, and I'm going to be doing some videos on arthritis, but you've got a form of active degenerative arthritis, right?
Yes.
That covers multiple joints that's spreading throughout your body. You get 100% service connected because of it. That's a disease, right? Like diabetes. Diabetes has secondaries or complications that are built into them that are medically proven to be true.
Okay.
Your back and radiculopathy. That's a built-in secondary. Those are true. Now, I don't have a preference for when something is or is not secondary. Do I believe it? I have had that trained out of my body because a doctor will determine that. It's not my call, right? It's up to a doctor to say whether or not that is or is not secondary. It gets legal due process, right? Or it gets medical due process where a medical physician will weigh in on the topic. What I disagree with is denied 7 times, granted the 8th time. What the fuck is different now? If nothing's different, that's where I have a problem, because I'm like, look, fucker, okay? It can't be denied 7 fucking times and then have you come across the 8th time and just have a difference of opinion with those other 7 people.
They had help from the company.
Well, no, like I'm just talking about within the VA and the normal process.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I wish it was a 3 strikes, or a best out of 3.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
And
because different examiners will have different opinions at different times.
Yeah, so that's my opinion on it. I wish it would be at best 2 out of 3. And then unless you have new evidence, we get a formal, 2 doctors have to say yes or 2 doctors have to say no, but it's definitive, and you get multiple doctors from multiple agencies, so there's no bias. It's just whatever the evidence shows. And I know that would be a lot of money, but it would be it would stave off a lot of this concern.
Okay. So that's the way to deal with it, you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. But what about that snowball effect? As these conditions, and this is what rubs a lot of people the wrong way, when they're trying to take these alternative theories, they're putting a square peg in a round hole. When do you think it's too much? When they're trying to do this, when is it like, hey guys, okay, you're stretching it a little far, or there's no limits? Let us know.
I mean, to me, there's no limits because everybody has to have the same ability to prove their case.
That's right.
It's just my personal opinion that it will medically.
You shorted out on us.
Sorry about that.
I can hear you now. You're good.
Everybody has to have the same opportunities as everybody else. But what does that look like, right? Like new and relevant evidence. That's what supplemental claims were meant to do. Could they improve that to make it to where it's like, hey, look, we're going to educate the veteran to say, hey, look, you were denied because of element 1. Please do not file a claim until you give us a current disability. That's what you were missing beforehand. In order to file a claim, you need to present to us a current disability for what you claimed. Fair enough, type thing. I'm reluctant to, because once we start dismantling this right here, this is where Lieutenant Colonel Gade has a field day, because then who gets to decide what's connected enough to be a real big boy or big girl disability? And I don't like to do that because there are many of my peers who would do that. They'd be like, I don't believe that. I'm like, well, it's a good thing that that's not your decision.
But they saying if your primary service connection is tinnitus and you 10%, how in the world can you get 50% for headaches off of that 10% direct service connection, and you can get 70% for depression? Excuse me?
Yeah, you can.
They see that as grifting or hustling the system. Good night, Ronan. Thank you, brother. Now, what you saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, that is a very factual thing right there. That is very true. Like that can happen to any, like that fact pattern right there can be true and can happen. Yes, that's perfectly viable.
But how you make the jump with the intermediate step between depression and sleep apnea, this is where they say you're taking it off the rails now. You just slinging crap on the wall, making it stick. Is intermediate conditions like weight gain in the manual?
Yes.
M21.
Yes, oh, okay. It's in the no, it is afforded. It is a legitimate process. Yes. You can even have intermediate step being medications. Your depression medication of sertraline causes you to gain 50 pounds. It's notated in your medical records. Yes, that can happen.
Wow.
Like all of this daisy chaining here, this is a true thing. Like this can happen. Like this, I do not see any issues with this, except for maybe tinnitus and headaches. Tinnitus and headaches are rarely granted that way. Like rarely.
Okay.
Rarely. But I mean rarely, because a lot of CMP examiners go, tinnitus has nothing to do with the neurological condition of headaches. Like it has nothing to do with it. Like, and then it would have to be prostrating headaches. Like there's certain criteria that even if they did get granted, it would be 0%.
More like migraines?
Yeah, migraines would have been a better thing. But if you would have had it to where even like if you had PTSD, then you had headaches or migraines, then you had weight gain, then you had sleep apnea. But there's a lot of scrutiny that happens amongst these things because you have to understand the examiner can take the off ramp to, oh, those headaches could be, or those migraines could be caused by this medication you're on that has nothing to do with your current service connected conditions. I think it's at least as likely as not that this medication that you're taking for this other thing causes your migraines. Same thing with depression. Well, it looks like that you're depressed because you lost your job. I think it's more likely than not that his depression is caused by his job. Same thing with the weight gain. Oh, well, he's a Twinkie eating champion, like on a daily basis.
I never
he's a food. He goes to. He's that guy on the internet that goes to the challenges to eat all the food. But
go ahead.
But you can actually, the examiner can take the off ramp to this is better explained by this, this, and this, and it breaks the chain. Everybody gets afforded that same opportunity, that same right to have a doctor say the medical evidence is pointing this way.
And there's unlimited possibilities that runs them crazy.
And it
like a spider web.
Yeah, and it runs veterans crazy because everybody knows somebody that's done this, that's done the daisy chain, right? Medically, legitimately, whatever. And they try it. And it doesn't work. So then they gather more evidence. They go to their doctor. They try it again. Doesn't work. They're told that it's not the way it happens. There's no way on earth and under heaven that tinnitus can cause headaches. So then they get frustrated. Then you know what they do? They go spend a little money.
Oh, boy. And they say, we sitting over here waiting for you. Yeah. We've been waiting for you. They mistreated you.
Come on in. The water's fine. Yeah. They mistreated you. That's totally possible. And the veteran feels validated by that because they know somebody that has got that service connected.
Now listen what Grace say. I'm still trying to understand hypertension and what is DM? Is that diabetes?
Diabetes mellitus, yeah.
Mellitus and cardio, in which the order to which?
When?
Like which one? Like the secondaries, which one causes the next one?
Diabetes mellitus can cause hypertension. Diabetes mellitus can cause cardio.
Okay.
weight gain can cause diabetes mellitus, but typically hypertension and cardio do not cause diabetes mellitus. Hypertension can cause cardio. Cardio can possibly cause hypertension, but diabetes mellitus is typically the first one. But there is so if a diagnosed with hypertension, diabetes mellitus should be your first claim condition, and then potentially hypertension due to it. If the chronicity matches up, like if the order of operations matches up, like I was diagnosed with diabetes before I was with hypertension, then it makes sense that hypertension is the result of the diabetes. If the hypertension happened before the diabetes, then it's probably, not going to be associated with each other.